Hello, it's Davina here from Stylist to the Dogs, and this is cute little Maisie. She's a Puggalia, which is a Pug Cross Cavalier, and she's just such a little cutie. Just starting her groom today with a nail clip. Her mum told me she doesn't really like her nails being clipped or her paws being touched, so you can see she's trying to pull away a little bit there. But what I do is just move with her natural movements. I don't let go, otherwise they see that they've won the battle, I'll call it, with you, but move with her natural movement so she doesn't feel like she's being restrained at all. She's just doing what she's being told because she's being handled by someone confident. So confidence is a big thing when it comes to handling dogs. So you can see she's still trying to pull away, but she stops after a few pulls because she sees that this is what's going to happen, and she's fine with it, and she's wagging her tail along the way, so she's doing all right. Just move her around. I always hold their paws in the direction that's natural to them so that they're not feeling insecure about the process. So now I'm just giving her an ear clean with some epiotic solution. Most dogs love this. They love a little ear rub. Now with her groom, she's just getting a trim of all these wispy white undercoat bits hanging out. So first we're just giving her a brush with a slicker brush, which is a metal pin brush. It's got small little metal prongs. Just brushing her quite lightly so that we're not actually touching her skin with those needles, and it doesn't bother them at all then. Now just giving her an under paw trim, getting all those little hairs that go over the top of her paw pads, getting them short so that she's got grip again. So this is a safety precaution that we do with the grooming. I don't dig into the paw pads unless I have to. If there is a knot in there or something, I'll dig in to the paw pads, but otherwise it's just removing that hair that sits over those pads and compromises her grip. I use quite a short blade. It's a 45 blade. I find that the easiest to give a really nice clean finish. It's quite safe too. Now I've moved to a 10 blade, which is what I use to do their hygiene trim. So this is just trimming up their hygiene areas so that they're all nice and clean. Do this with most dogs. Only dogs we wouldn't do it for is dogs that are prone to a clipper irritation. Most dogs are fine with it. And of course she gets some pats and kisses in between each process. But she's enjoying herself there. So moving on to scissoring now, as she's just having a trim, so I don't need to use clippers on any of her body. She still doesn't like those paws being touched, so just moving with her natural movements. I'm trimming up her paw pads with my straight and curved scissors. A lot of groomers use thinning shears on feet. I tend to just use my straight and curved. I just find it quicker, to be honest, and if I can get a nice clean finish, then that's why I do it with those scissors. So that's just how I've always learnt. Different groomers have different processes. As long as you get the end result same, that's all that matters really. So now I am using thinning shears. These are my curved thinning shears. And what thinning shears are is that they've got teeth along one side of them, along the blade. So what it does is it actually trims off the coat in a natural look. So it's only taking hairs out every now and then. And as you can see, it's a way of getting all that white fluff off where it still looks natural and she doesn't have cut marks with scissors. These are my curved scissors, so they are just normal scissors, and so to give that really defined look and sculpture around her legs, I transfer over to those scissors. But yeah, to get all these little wispy bits out, I just use my thinning shears. These ones are straight, so I've got straight and curved ones depending on the contour of the body. And as you can already see, it's looking really nice and trimmed there. I am using my thinning shears along her stomach line there, just to give it a nice natural look when we're trimming up. This video has been put to double speed just so that it's not as long for you guys to watch. As you can see, she's going a bit fast here, but just at double speed. So you can see this process happening here, how her legs are starting to look different. One side's looking a lot nicer and trimmed up. And Maisie's very relaxed, just enjoying the process and moving around as I need her to. She's doing very good. She's not bothered by this process at all. You can see her tail's up. She's wagging it every now and then. She's happy to have some pampering. You can see her groom starting to take shape now. I use my fingers a lot to pull hair down. A lot of groomers use combs, but I tend to use my fingers a lot to pull hair out in its natural way that it will come out. So I'm using the brush now, but in some places I'll use my fingers to do the same sort of process. So you can see all that coat just coming up off nicely with those thinning shears. So this process is taking about 25 minutes all up, and this is all after she's had a bath and a blow dry. She's already had that process done. So we generally do the groom after a bath and blow dry so that she's got a nice clean fresh coat. Always brushing the coat up and out different directions to get it to sit right and get every single little wispy hair sticking out. You can see all that white coat now on the table that I've trimmed up for her, so she's still going to look quite natural once she's done, just really tidied up. And she wants to have a bit of a sit. I'll let her sit for a little bit, give her a pat and a cuddle. Just let them do what they'd like to do, sit as comfortable as they like. Just stopping her there from trying to back off the table a bit. Dog handling comes with a lot of experience. You start to really get to know when a dog is going to move, so predict their movements, and that's what makes it so safe. They feel safe because they're with someone confident. They'll move into a position, I'll know exactly where to hold them to get them to be in the position that I want, but still make them feel comfortable, so I'm not going against what they think they want. And with dogs, that's the best way to handle them. They always go by instinct. They go by a pack mentality where they're going to follow an alpha, and so long as they feel safe, they're going to behave and do what they're there to do, especially dogs that have been groomed their whole life. They know they're not going to get hurt. They know they're getting attention. They love the attention. So this is a big process of grooming, is making the dog feel safe and comfortable within the process. So you can see it's just a lot of scissor work, a lot of just back and forth over that coat, trimming off these wispy little bits, getting a nice finish, but also a natural look finish. So we're not wanting it to look absolutely pristine, perfect. It's wanting to still look quite natural in the end. So now just brushing her ears. She's not getting much of a trim on her face. Once again, just to give her that natural look. She doesn't have length on her face she needs to have trimmed up. Just a little bit of a tidy up on her ears, a little bit of a tidy up on her tail, but just keeping that natural look for her. And once again, always going over the body all over again, just checking anything that's sticking out, brushing the coat back, and doing the last little perfecting of the trim. But as I said, it's still meant to be looking natural, so we don't mind that it's looking a little bit hairs here and there sticking out, because we want it to just, the whole point is to make her look like she naturally looks like this. So that's the end. That's Maisie, all beautiful for you.